Have you ever read all the way to the bottom of a page of a book and had to say to yourself, whoops, I'm going to have to read that again? Well, what's really going on there, that it doesn't take much of your brain power to read the words and to process them. If we're being conservative, we say it takes 5% of your brain to do that. The other 95% is bored shitless and has wandered off to amuse itself with other things. And that happens again when you're listening to someone. The chances that you've heard their words are pretty high, but they took so long to get to the point that your bored as batshit brain just vacated the building. And now, of course, it's embarrassing because we've listened and we've had no idea what they said. So over the years, I've learned that getting through that listening stage successfully is one of the most useful and important of my coaching skills. And whether it's your boss, your wife, or your kids, whenever someone sees that you actually get what it is that they're trying to say, they feel understood and they feel cared about. And that means they're ready to listen to your suggestions or coaching or feelings and do something positive. And it's a really big secret. Being influential and persuasive is a direct consequence of proving to whoever you're talking to that you've got nothing on your mind except them. They move you into the trusted friend and advisor section of their mind. So here's my tips on how to listen so well that people just warm up to you. Number one, put everything aside. Let go of the fact that you're someone's spouse, friend, parent, neighbour, sibling or whatever, and just turn up in the present moment. And turn those moments that you're listening into the only moments that exist. This automatically makes the person you're conversing with special in your eyes and in theirs. Next, check that you're understanding them. Ask if it's okay to interrupt for the purpose of paraphrasing back to them what it is that you're getting at. Aside from telling them that they're important, this checking with the client, the wife, the boss or the kids, what that does, it tells you you want to get to their story. You want to hear what they're actually on about as completely as possible. Next, seek clarification. Make sure you don't just hear the story, but you hear the impact of the story. For example, ask things like, how did you feel about that? What did you want to do? What did you decide at the time? Who was that going to affect? Then listen for absolutes. When someone uses expressions such as they always or it never or as usual, the chances are high that they're describing a belief which may or may not have some relevance to the story that they're telling. It's going to be difficult to move people from that attitude by dealing with this situation because that's just an example of the long-held belief. It's the belief that holds sway here and you need to be working with that, or it's a case of shuffling the deck chairs on the Titanic. Next, ask yourself what language they're using. Now, obviously, I don't mean French or German. I'm referring the way the winners talk in a certain kind of a way. You can almost hear the expectation of victory in their words or their tone. Similarly, victims use words and tone that convey an expectation that things are not going to go well. Now, I just mentioned tone of voice. Much of what we convey meaning in is not the words, but the way that we say them. For example, a friend of mine can call me a bastard and it's going to sound like a term of endearment. The word bastard is just a vehicle for the emotion that they're expressing. Which brings us to emotions. What are they feeling? You can hear the story, but how do they feel about that story? You know, when counselling people who lost houses in bushfires, I found the story was pretty much the same for everyone. But how they felt about it came to me as I listened to how they told the story, not the story itself. So give some of all those concepts a try. They're going to make a massive difference.